this video, I have 10 pro level tips for Bedwars. These tips will turn you into an absolute Bedwars weapon. All of these tips work for any server, any version that just has Bedwars. Even the highest level Bedwars players might not know all of these tips, or they may have forgotten some of them. So prepare yourself for insane levels of Bedwars knowledge, and hopefully this video can help you out. On to the first tip. Okay, this first tip, it uses one of the items that is used the least when it comes to Bedwars, the pop-up tower, and let me show you how you can use it. Remember, these tips are for people who slightly know what they're doing, but this can take you to the next level of Bedwars skill. So if you navigate to the shop and buy a compact pop-up tower, this is all you'll need, trust me. And then you just head over to a base. So what you're going to do is run into a base with the pop-up tower out, and then right before breaking the bed, place a pop-up tower to block them off, and then you can just break the bed, although I don't have a pickaxe. And what's funny is even if they think they've removed it, they just 100% haven't. You could just place another and, again, break the bed easily. And this time, with the correct tool. This is honestly such a great tactic, and it's so underused. Like, it's literally building a 3x3 wall to block off players and just distract them. And if you pair this with, like, an invis, and you'll easily break their bed without even getting spotted. So, start using it, trust me. Alright, on to the next skill. For the next skill, it's blocking in, but this is a bit of a pro tip. Use different blocks to block in, so not just wool. Most people don't even have anything above a wood tool for the most parts, especially when defending their base. So if you've got a tier 1 or tier 2, if you're quick at blocking in, you can easily get a bed by just default, because they won't be able to break the block quicker than you. Let me show you though. A perfect opportunity. They've just fallen. And then, boom, wood block in. What do you know? They just can't even get close. Look, I can literally wait here while they try and break. And I already have their bed open. And then, of course, I'll break. Because they don't have the correct tools. And that's why wood block-ins are just different, bro. So, use different blocks to block in, not just wool. And what's crazy about this skill is that you don't even need to be quick at blocking in. Like, for example, you can literally take all the time you need because blocking in with a better block than wool, it just naturally gives you more time. Like, look, they will respawn with wood tools. So, if they don't upgrade them, you can just break the blocks in the bed quicker than they can break the blocks of your block in. So it's just a free bed. So start buying other blocks to block in. For the next skill is one that you might not even think of doing. This is using an item in a completely different way than it should normally be used. So let me show you. As you can see, I have 1 emerald, and this can be used to buy a bridge egg. The normal use for a bridge egg is to throw it, and it makes a bridge. However, I'm going to show you an even better usage of it. Okay, so while in PvP, you can throw it at your position to combo them. Like, look at this. This man is lost. And then you can combo them off. It's really good for stopping momentum, and then of course you can then get the diamonds for yourself. There's loads of like rod modes, like UHC, where you use a rod to break movement and combos, and there's not really one for Bedwars other than block placing, but now there is with a bridge egg. So use this if you can, but of course that requires you getting emeralds, so good luck. The bridge egg. Okay, that was so clean, what? If you're slightly good at Rob PvP or just Sky Wars, even just people with good aim, you should find this tip extremely useful, and this will definitely help you win more Bedwars games. But let's go to the next tip. Okay, this next tip is for the serious gamers amongst us all. It's a fireball bridge egg. This skill is used to instantly get height on someone and to just get away safely, and also it looks insanely cool. However, let me show you how to do it. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is look to the ground as if you were throwing a fireball, and just fireball normally, but instantly hotkey to wherever your bridge egg is, like this, and then land on the bridge egg. As you can see, my first rush is barely paying attention, so if I were to absolutely dunk on this man with pure skill and deviousness, I should be able to just run in and get his bed. By purely skill and looking cool, I mean, this play is a bit of a flex and honestly not like an insane use of items, but if you have an overwhelming amount of items, this skill is actually really good and very effective and can save you using like a pearl or something else, so I would definitely recommend. One thing to note about this is that make sure you're looking down when throwing your bridge egg, because if you throw it up or slightly in front of you, you might not land on it. Again, this skill is pretty unused, but it is really good and a lot more efficient than using like a pearl when clutching. So this is one for people who are pretty skilled at the game, and I hope it can help you in clutching games out. Let's go to the next tip. For the next tip, it's just a reminder really, but it's to actually buy water. Very few people actually buy water, and especially when clutching, how many times do you die to full damage? Water can literally single-handedly prevent this, and it's a bit easier to do than ladder clutching. So let me show you. One thing to note as well, water buckets are half the price now, so just stock up on water buckets so you can clutch all day long. And even after losing your bed, you could just run and just survive, because you know you're not going to die to any full damage. Bosh. And then we out. And then we out. Even after losing your bed, you never know what might happen. Oh my god. Oh my god, yo! So yeah, get buying water. I feel like water is such an underused item, and again, for only 2 gold, this can literally make or break a clutch. So just stock up on water, make sure to buy it, whether clutching or not. It can literally be as valuable as a pearl at times. So get buying water. Next tip. This next skill is one for people who are mechanically pretty sound at Minecraft. However, anyone can learn this, and it's pretty easy to pick up. And I would say it's very important, and a kind of new trend people are getting good at. It's block placements, and shearing, and re-shearing. And I'll show you what I mean. So of course, all you're going to need is some shears and some blocks. And let's go to a bridge fight, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is place blocks. When they see an opportunity to fight, you can place a block again. And you can just keep redoing this. Like, if you get good at this skill, trust me, people will fear you. You can go like this, shear, shear again, place again. It's very sweaty. You see lots of people do it, and look, it leaves people literally stumped. Because look, they think they're going to get a free hit on you, and they can't. And then you can, and then they can't. And then you can, and they can't. And so on until you become an absolute demon, and they can't touch you. Oh my god, you're KB. And then also, even when breaking beds, you can go like this, and then shear and break. The best way to do so, I find, is by placing 2 above, and then shearing there, and then killing. And that's how you can win games, by just even block placements. If you work on that, I promise you'll get better. I think for Bedwars, for sure, this is one of the most important skills. Because every game, you're probably going to have shears, and you'll definitely have blocks. So if you become a master at using them 2 items alone, you'll be an absolute pro in no time. Again, the best strategy, I think, is placing 2 blocks high, and then shearing the top one. But it really works in any sort of orientation. So experiment, and keep playing, and keep practicing. Next tip. This next strategy is one that Minecraft players that play ranked Bedwars might know a little bit more. However, those who don't play, it's called boxing. Let me show you what boxing is. So all you need is blocks. And boxing is basically putting yourself in a box. So yeah, let me show you why this is good. It's because at max height, you can box and just get crits on people. So see how I can hit because I'm at a lower height than them? And also, I'm protected from taking any KB in any direction because I'm literally blocked in. So even if they are to get hit, it doesn't even matter because I'm not going anywhere. So if they push, they just die. And it's basically a guaranteed win. So most of the time, you'll see people use this in a 2v1. However, if you want to become extra sweaty, I guess use it in a 1v1. But you might make people a bit angry. But who cares? It even works while getting a bed. Because you're now boxed while you're already blocked in. And you can just fight. And every hit I'm getting is just a crit. And they can barely hit me here. And then, boom. Box just wins you games, bro. Trust me. You can do this 1 high or 2 high, but I personally think it's way better doing it 2 high. Because at max height, this means you have way longer reach. Because remember, reach is from the head, not from anything else. So if your head is lower, you can reach further than someone who's higher than you. So you have a low ground advantage, but also you just won't take any knockback, which is normally the problem when it comes to bridge fights. So box up, make sure there's blocks behind you, in front of you. This tactic can definitely help you winning a 2v1. It's also great while you're blocked in, and also practicing block-ins can also help with this skill. So just get practicing. Let's go to the next tip. And for the next tip, it's using ladders on a bridge fight. And let me show you how this can be a huge skill that can also just make you better. And even if you're someone who already does this and just forgets, well, you're welcome. Just keep doing it. So all you need to do is obviously go to the shop, get some blocks, get some ladders, and then you're good to go. But let's put it into practice. So one thing about bridge fights is that even if someone has higher ground than you, you can literally retake the high ground easily. And having height is so important. So if someone were to block me off like this, I can just climb up and combo them. easy, and I took no damage. But let me show you another example. So say someone's pushing me, I can literally go onto a ladder and just take no knockback. Look at this. I'm not moving because of this ladder. This ladder is my savior. So no matter if you're on high ground or low ground, ladders will help you, especially on bridge fights. And one thing about ladders as well is that it makes you so you just cannot move sideways, basically. So if someone were to sewer you, you just don't take the knockback. I literally press nothing and I just stay on the bridge. Like, just bring ladders, man. It's so cheap. They're 4 iron for like 8. Like, just use them, bro. All of these tips so far today are universal, so it works with any ping and any server, really. It's actually mind-boggling how much ladders negate KB. So if you're worried about taking knockback, use ladders. Next tip. And for the next skill is one that is revered by ranked Bedwars players, but for the common player, you might not even know about it. It's watering a base to get a bed. So usually people think water is good on your bed. It isn't. Trust me, it's really bad. So when you put water on someone else's base, this is a really good thing for you to break it because people can't move quick in water. And let me show you it in practice. So of course, all you need to do is buy the cheap discounted water bucket and then just loads of blocks and then you're good to go. So I'll quickly bridge over to my first rush. Now, once over, I would definitely recommend building as high as you can and go just one under max height. So I just reached max height. I can no longer place any more blocks and then I'll break one and then place my water. So to improve the water you've done on someone's base even more so, you can place more blocks and then also shear them. However, I don't have shears, so I'm not going to do it this time. But place more blocks to stretch out the water. Because now, look at that flowing down. It's getting more and more of their base. And it can reach a pretty surprising distance on people's bases. And if you get one of these off really high, it makes it pretty much impossible to defend a bed. Even though they see me breaking their bed, they can literally just not get to me in time. I could just break all of these blocks, and it doesn't even matter. And then, of course, break their bed. It's just easy. Like, look, you can barely move. Like, even me here, I can barely move. And then, of course, you gotta get the kill and win. And it's so easy. But honestly, just watering people's bases, it's huge. And very easy to break beds from that. As long as you make sure you're one block under max height, you should be good to go. I would also advise building out your water platform as wide as you can get it and then shearing it. That's one thing I didn't do here, but I would definitely make sure to bring shears up. Because think about it, they could just place one block on top of the tower there to remove the water source. Of course, this can be countered with sponges, but it's very hard to get all the way up to the top if there's just no blocks or anything. Make sure to remove the water platform blocks after creating the platform, because the water won't go back in, and then you'll just have a huge water splodge on their base. And it just makes for breaking beds so easily. But let's go to the next tip. Quick reminder, if you are enjoying this video, consider subscribing. It's free, which is a great price. This is a brand new channel too, so you probably aren't subscribed if you've just watched this video. So just double check, and let's go on to the next tip. And for this next tip, this is one for everyone who plays Bedwars, because I see even 1,000 plus stars make this mistake. And if you want to become the best, you gotta remove all the mistakes possible. So when potting to get a base, what do I mean by potting? I mean having a jump, an invis, and a speed, and milk. Make sure to remember to buy milk. People drink the invis first. Like, obviously, that is a horrible idea because the invis is the most important part. So, drink that last because less time is eaten into the invis seconds. How many times have you gotten to a base and your invis has just disappeared at the worst time and then you die? As well as this, remember, an invisibility pot only has 30 seconds compared to the jump pot and speed pot being 45. So, use your invis pot wisely. So, all you need to do is buy one of each pot, some milk, and then you're good to go. The order I like to drink them is speed first, then jump, then milk, then invis. So, then you gotta find a good spot. Hopefully the opponent doesn't see you, and then pot up. So, I'll start with my speed pot, then my jump pot, then milk, and then invis. And then we go. And as you can see, I've only had 2 seconds of my invis. I'm basically at his base. Would you believe that? It's almost like I drank my pots in the correct order. And he has no idea I'm here. I can break his bed and just get the final kill. Nice and easy. There we go. That is a very good tip that I think anyone who plays Bedwars can utilize to their advantage. So, I hope you found these 10 tips helpful. Just remember, all of these work with any sort of Bedwars, any version, and any real server, as long as they have the item in question. I upload every single day. Consider subscribing, joining my Discord, and following my Twitch. All the links are in the description. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace!